Hey everyone, welcome back to Unicycle Lore. A couple things I want to take a look at today. I think this will be a little bit of a quicker show today, but I want to start off by welcoming a couple new members to the 1080 Unispin Club. We'll start here with Kornel. I believe he landed his first one right before BUC, the Belgian Unicycle Championship, and then he landed one actually in comp that we talked about last week. But check that out. Look at that, seat forward, rolling 1080. On Aiden's deck there with a crew. Well, a legendary spot for a legendary trick, and that just looks so sick. He's got look, Macho here pointing out interesting spin technique. Honestly, I agree. Let's see here. So you can tell he so I don't want to get into this too much. Let me just show you this. We're going to talk spin technique after. But it looks so cool. It's huge, right? The 1080, so really big 1080 Unispin. And then just a couple weeks after we get this one here, even if it was a couple weeks, I think it was maybe a week or two, you get Stephy with this one to seat in. And look, like this to me looks like there is some potential there for more. I gotta let my dog go upstairs, guys. She's crying. Piper, you're interrupting my show. There you go. I just wanted to hang out. All right, sorry for the interruption. She doesn't know where she wants to go. She doesn't know if she wants to hang out down here with me in the dungeon, in the rat cave, or if she wants to be upstairs. Anyway, look at Stephy's 10 spin here. I should have edited these so you could see them both at the same time. Hang on. We're doing this. Okay. Alright, we're going to set this up. Bear with me. So you can see both of them at the same time. Alright. Alright, pause. I'm muting. Okay, wait. Are these the slow-mo ones? Ugh! I missed it. Anyway, just with your eyes, just go back and forth between these so I could show you. Let me pause here. Alright, so look how fast Stephy's spin is. Okay? This is the spin is, the unicycle is just perfectly upright and spinning. It's like a tight spin. So if you get into unispins, at some point someone is going to give you the advice. I know I've talked about this before, but the advice you're going to get is jump higher, spin faster. Okay? And that's literally the best advice anyone can give you. If you're at a 720 and you want to land your 900, jump higher, spin faster. Okay? They're giving you the correct advice, even though it used to be a bit of a meme. But you can kind of spec into either one of those and rely on it more to make a spin happen. You can get good at jump higher like Kornel. Look at this. I mean, that does look pretty fast, but he is relying much more on jumping as high as he can and kind of kicking his legs out to give him more time in the air. Whereas when I look at this, to me it looks like Stephy has figured out how to really whip these spins, because you can't tell in the slow-mo, but we'll wait for the fast one to come back, because the spin just looks really, really tight and fast to me. He doesn't seem like he has to jump quite as high. Now, this is where, if you can figure out how to spin the unicycle really, really fast, then if you learn to jump higher, that's when you can squeak out an extra 180. That's where you're looking at getting into 12 spin territory. I mean, this to me looks like this is a new contender in the race to the 1260. And I'm not trying to put down Kornel for this. This is sick. A 1080 is an amazing accomplishment, but to me this looks like we're maxing out. This looks like we're maxing out his spin technique here. You know what's interesting about these? Both of these guys have done 1080 sides before they did a 1080 unispin. Is that weird? Is that a new thing? Kornel landed his first 1080 side like 7 years ago, 8 years ago. And he's just now getting around to doing a regular 1080. I don't know. To me, that's crazy. To me, a 1080 is so much easier than a 1080 side. I've done countless 10 spins, but maybe like 3 or 4 1080 sides ever. I think 3. Stephy also has done 1080 side. They're like predominantly side spinners. That is I don't know, man. That's crazy to me. But two more dudes in the 10 spin club. That is really, really awesome. That's cool. Congratulations to both of those guys. Sick stuff there. I want to make sure I don't have anything else I wanted to say about that. No. Okay, next thing I want to go over here, we got a Yun check. This is a custom Flansberrium frame for Mimo. He made this thing for Mimo, and if you haven't seen this guy's work, Jacob Flansberry, his frames are just so they look so awesome. This is cool. He says this is not Lego compatible yet, but maybe at some point. Imagine like a little Lego structure on there. That'd be cool. He got the Ringling logo on there. You know, Mimo's touring in the U.S. right now with the Ringling Brothers Circus, showing off his Yun skills. Couldn't have a better representative of extreme unicycling in the circus than Mimo. My view on this has softened over the years. I used to be very anti-circus, okay? I used to be very like, this is not a performance. This is a competitive sport. This is unicycling. It's very serious. But now I see the level of exposure Mimo offers by being a performer, okay? And guys like Mimo, anyone who's performing on a unicycle, if you're doing street or trials or flatland tricks, you're using... in my opinion, you've kind of recontextualized what used to be kind of a weakness of unicycling, that it was seen as a clown thing, a circus trick, and you've taken it and you're using it now as like a springboard to put this in front of a wider audience. And in my opinion, it's only good. Okay, it's a good thing, and I'm sure most mature adults held that view when I was mad about it when I was like 15, and I was like, no, don't do it in the circus, but. Yeah, I've come around on it, and this unicycle is sick. Well, it's just the frame here, but I remember I was talking with Mimo, not a ton, but at Unicon in 2024, I held his unicycle, and it was extremely heavy, and he said that it's beneficial if you are coasting, I guess, to have a unicycle that is set up like this. It just meshes well with his riding style to have an extremely heavy frame. And so he's got this custom one from Jacob's Flansberry, and this looks so clean, dude. It's got his name on it. It just looks so awesome. Yeah. So here's a clip of him riding it, and I did kind of want to talk about this. So this is unbelievable, right? He's coasting around the entire skate park, and to me, this is like, you know, this is the closest thing you've got on unicycle to doing a manual. Would be like a guy on a bike doing a mani around the entire park. That part is crazy right there. I really wish I could rewind this like on YouTube would be cool, you know. So check this out. Jump to coast, and then he just goes around the entire park here. This is unbelievable. This next part right here. Look at this. Did he actually get air out of that? Like, I don't understand that. Just unbelievable balance. That clearly coasting is just, he has this completely figured out. Like, this is unreal. To adjust your balance going down the ramp and stuff like that. And then, yeah, he lands back in a coast from this. What? I mean, that's crazy. That is insane. We've come a long way with coasting. Mostly Mimo has been pushing this, but I know it's been trendy for years now. I'm so glad coasting made its way into unicycling, and I know this is a thing that guys have been kind of tinkering with since the dawn of street unicycling. I wanted to show you guys this. I found this when I was going through some clips the other day. And Sean Johannesson, if you don't know, he was like one of the original pioneers of street riding. He was mostly a flip tricks guy. But I think he could envision the type of stuff Mimo is doing now. He just didn't have the tools to make it happen at the time. Look at this. This is an early iteration of the flip to coast, if I can get this thing to play. So Sean was doing it with as little of a gap between tricks as possible. And there's clips of him doing this into like the one-footed coasting. Basically a crank flip, ride a rev or less. You see it's a half rev and he's got his foot up and then into coasting on the other half rev there. But this is in 2006. He filmed this clip in 2006 or maybe even 2005. The video is Sean J up to 2006. So all of these clips are 2006 or earlier. And he's doing flip to coast. I believe the Dan Heaton call-out video is the one where he does the flip into one-footed coasting. But yeah, I think the type of stuff Mimo is doing now is kind of what Sean was envisioning. And now another guy whose coast clip I wanted to talk about is Rafi from 2012, the Croatia video. Now, if you don't know, Rafael Puham was the coast drop, where you coast off the... Oh, I knocked over the microphone. Oh my gosh, guys. I'm blowing it with the broadcast etiquette here today. Anyway, he was the first one to do a coast drop where you coast off the edge of a ledge, where you coast off a ledge and you catch before landing. That's Rafael Puham's NBD. And this is a sick one from 2012. Check this. Coast to out flip. Yeah, that just looks so cool. Has Mimo done that? I'm sure he has, and I just missed it. But this is a cool one. Like, imagine that with a full out flip, you know? Anyway, I remember around this time was when other guys started doing coast drops, like Chris Hoodiewye could do them. And then it was a couple years later until Mimo did the original jumping directly into coast, but then the whole thing just leveled up. That's when you get that's the beginning of like the manual era of street unicycling, which in my opinion it's awesome. It's a cool version of tech street riding. Now, all this talk about coasting basically just to set up that Nakul Mohakar has made what I consider to be an extremely high quality coasting tutorial. The advice in here, guys, is it's priceless stuff, and you can tell he went hard editing this. The video it's nice to watch. It's got fun music. The editing is cool. Yeah, I love this. This is like, we got to push this thing out because I know there's so many people who want to add coasting into their riding, and coasting is cool if you are well, I mean, we talked about coasting in street. Coasting is cool in street right now for sure. It's how you manual. Coasting is cool in flatland. Learning to coast like in the 1 foot coasting method. That was so bad. Learning to coast using the 1 foot on the frame technique is, in my opinion, like, it's a way to unlock all the other versions of coasting, including more advanced scuff coasting, stand-up coasting, all that stuff that we now see in flat combos. It teaches you the basic balance that you require for all those other things. So if you're interested in street or flatland, you got to learn to coast. You've got to learn to coast. Also, this tutorial would be useful for freestyle riders. Okay, I don't know if this is the exact technique they use, but they might as well take it because this is fantastic advice. So yeah, I definitely recommend you watch this. This is so good, and the most important piece of advice here is the coasting triangle. There's a whole section about this. I don't want to spoil it. I want you to go watch his video. But when I saw this for the first time, I was like, this is the type of advice that unlocks a trick for someone, okay? Every once in a while when you're trying something, you will come up with a mental cue. You will put the pieces together in your mind, and then the trick is just, it becomes easy. And I think that if you haven't given this a shot, the coasting triangle is, I think this is a genius concept. I I can tell this guy's a master of coasting by the way he explains it. If you're really good at something, you can teach it to other people. And Nakul's video here just demonstrates what an absolute coasting master he is. You got to go check this out and watch his other videos too. He's done all kinds of crazy coast tricks. He like coasts through gravel and stuff. Yeah, honestly, this is good advice, even if you're just trying to learn to ride a unicycle. Keeping this V shape with the frame and your upper body, your torso, and the frame. Like this is stuff you tell people who are trying to learn to ride their unicycle, and it applies to coasting as well. It's just obviously you're not your feet are not on the pedals. So yeah, this is the coasting tutorial. I went out and practiced myself actually. I went and gave it a shot. So coasting is a trick that I used to be able to do that I kind of unlearned by not practicing it enough. You got to kind of grease the groove with coasting, I found, and I neglected it for, I don't know, 12 years. So here's me trying it out with Nakul's advice. And you can see actually it was off to a pretty good start. I decided to give this 10 minutes. I wanted to give 10 minutes proper practice for coasting. And it is sad for me to admit this, but I think actually the part that I struggled the most with was initiating the coast, because I'm not smooth enough at riding with one foot. It's embarrassing for me to say that out loud, but I'm not good enough at riding one-footed to start the coast. Or maybe I just wasn't focusing on it enough. I did have a couple good ones. Like here's one with like a, it looks a little jerky, but I was getting the feel of it. I think that was my best coast of the entire session. I mean, it was 10 minutes, but listen, there's practical advice in Nakul's tutorial for all of these scenarios. Like you can see here, I basically failed by letting my leg get extended too far in the back. That specific scenario is defined with a practical solution in Nakul's video. So like, this is the type of thing where you can just film your session, watch what you're doing, see what mistakes you're making, and then cross-reference them with the advice in that coasting tutorial. And you could just use that as a one-stop shop to kind of figure out how to coast. All right, I think I was trying to get like one or two more good ones before I moved on. That one's not bad. Let's see. There's another one that I landed. And as you can see, pretty good. So I'm happy with that for my first day coasting again. I'm going to keep trying it. I'd like to be able to coast just kind of indefinitely, coast downhill. I think that would be fun. Coasting is also just a cool trick if you're showing off what you can do on a unicycle. You've heard of look mom, no hands, but riding a unicycle and saying look mom, no feet, now that is next level. Okay, coasting is sweet. Coasting is very cool. You should go check out this tutorial. You should subscribe. I didn't even like it yet, but yeah, this is really good. Go check this out. Anyway, that's it for this time, guys. I'll see you in the next one.